So I literally had the best reading month in May. I read like 10 books. I was reading like 5-star books constantly, and this month has not been so good. Mostly because I've only read 4 books. So this video is going to be very short and sweet, talking about the books that I read in the month of June. So first book I read was on my Kindle. I read Baby Love by Jaqueline Wilson. Now, Jaqueline Wilson was like my favourite author growing up. I loved her books. They were just so comforting to me. So I saw that she came out with Baby Love. It's like targeted at more of a mature audience. It was focused on a young girl, I think she was about 14, who accidentally fell pregnant in the 60s, and she was shamed by her family, like an absolute disgrace to her family, so they sent her away, and she fell in love with the baby. She wanted to keep it, and it was like during the time where like teen pregnancy was a no-go, like you were sent away, shamed, disowned, like not happening. And it was just a really interesting book to read about, like back in that time and everything that she went through. It was actually really good. I definitely rated this a 5 stars. When I was reading it, it was probably a 4.5, but now when I think back on it, definitely a 5-star. I loved it. Anyways, next I read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, the 3rd book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I have to be honest, this one was probably my favourite. The ending sucked. If you have read this book, you know, the ending sucked, but the whole book, it was such a journey. I loved it so much. All of these books in this series were a 5-star read to me, but this one was probably my favourite, and this is the cause of my book slump this month. Because of this book, I could not, like my attention span, I picked up another book and I just could not read a book. All I could think about was As Good as Dead, because it was the best book of the month. Out of my 4 books that I read this month, it was the best. Anyways, so I went through all of my books that I DNF'd the past couple months, even years. Just books that were sitting on my bookshelf that I had to kind of force myself to get back into. So I picked up the DoOver, which I am so glad that I went back to it and read it, because I loved the ending of this book. I loved the whole concept. If you don't know, it's basically about a girl who is like a hopeless romantic. She loves Valentine's Day, the chocolates, the roses, all that stuff. Turns out this Valentine's Day, lots of drama goes on. So she goes to bed, wakes up, and the same day repeats over and over and over again. I really would recommend this book if you haven't read it. I know heaps of people have read this book. This is her, like, it was her new book when I got it, but it's been out for a while now. Also, her books, I'm obsessed with like her playlists that she puts in the back of her books. The like love that she puts into it, like the little drawings. I'm obsessed. It's so cute, and all the Taylor Swift references. We love Lynn Painter. Also, the DoOver I gave 4.5 stars. I really liked it, but just the fact that I DNF'd it and it took me a while to finish. If it was as good as the ending the whole time, I probably would have given it 5 stars, but 4.5 for this one. But after the DoOver, I picked up They Both Die at the End, which is a book that I got in probably 2020, and I read probably half of it and then put it down. But I picked it up again this month and read it, and I only just finished it because it wasn't really my kind of book. Like, it was sad, had some emotions, but I think it's for a much younger audience. I don't know, it was missing something, so I gave it a 3.5 stars. Yeah, so I basically 3.5 stars. Wasn't horrible, but it wasn't really my kind of book in the end. Ignore this horrible audio, but I realized that I did not tell you guys what that book was about because I got sidetracked. But so it's basically about a time where you get an alert. I think it's like 12 a.m. the night before you die. So like you know when you're about to die. You get like a phone alert or something, and it's about these 2 boys that are both about to die. They connect through this app, and then they spend the day together and find out some stuff about each other, just live the day, end up being best friends, and yeah, it was good plot, bad execution. So that is my quick recap of what I read in June. Hopefully I'll keep up with the regular videos. I'll try my best, because I love sharing what I read, and I have like my little Snapchat story that I talk about my books, but I wanted to share it with more people. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully.